ズバリ2011年のワールドカップの優勝国はどこだと思いますか？
日本、しましょう。オールブラックス
根拠は
？I just think at the moment the All Blacks are the best team, and we haven't won for 24 years, so we need to win, and it's in our own country, so that gives us an extra edge.
オールブラックス戦、そしてフランス戦とトンガ戦、カナダ戦では出場選手を分けていくんでしょうか
？No, I'll probably use the same players next year. I think that the draw is a little bit better, and I think that it's very important that we show the world how much rugby has improved in Japan, so I won't be changing too many players.
固まってますか？
No, I think that, look, we have been working towards this team being a good mix of youth and experience and making sure that they understand each other's play. So the main part of the team is already formed. So the next year is about making sure that we gel properly together.
1年が勝負だと。
Very important for all players. I think that we'll be playing the players that are playing the best next year, and so everyone wants to go to a World Cup. So they need to show that for their clubs, and then when we get together, they need to make sure that they stand up and put themselves into contention for selection, for sure.
もうより強さを増しそうですね、日本は。
Yeah, look, we need to get better. I think that out of 10, we're at 7, so we need to improve again for next year. This World Cup for us is very important. So it's important that we show the world that we're getting better, and so the next year is very important for everyone.
今の日本代表でチームに足りないものって現段階で見えてますか？
Yeah, look, I think that we just need to make sure that we refine the things that we've been trying to do in the last, especially 18 months. So I think there's a few technical things and tactical things that we need to improve a lot on. I think the understanding is there. It's just making sure that we make them great. So there's still plenty of work to do. And I think individually, I'll be putting a lot more pressure on the players to make sure they prepare properly for next year's World Cup.
ではここからはカーワンさんがオールブラックス選手時代についてちょっとお聞きしたいと思います。でオールブラックスに選ばれたとき、一番最初にどなたに報告されましたか
？Well, it was on the news, so everyone knew at the same time. In those days, we didn't get told by telephone; we got told by the news. So we sort of knew it was coming. So all the family was around the television. I was very young; I was only 19, so it was all the family together. Yeah, it was a pretty exciting time.
オールブラックスの誇りと責任。これはやっぱり特別だということなんですけれども、そういった自覚はありましたか？
I think that when you have a goal as big as wanting to be an All Black, when you make the All Blacks, you're not ready for what you need to do to be an All Black, and I think that was the biggest surprise for me. That I was obviously very proud and happy to be an All Black, but then when I arrived, I realised that I had to get better very quickly to stay there. So it was like making the All Blacks was great, but then I had to work really hard to make sure that I was going to be a good All Black. And so it was a very, very difficult but good time. People say it must be fantastic being in the All Blacks, and it is fantastic, but it's very difficult as well because everyone around you is the best in their field, and they put pressure on you to keep getting better. So it's a very dynamic.Environment.
最後に一つ質問させていただきたいんですけれども、なぜニュージーランドはラグビーが人気があると思いますか？また日本ラグビーがもっと人気が出るようにはどうしたらよろしいでしょうか？
I think rugby in New Zealand is popular because it is part of our culture and how we see ourselves. So I think that New Zealanders are very proud to be one of the best rugby nations in the world. So it's very much cultural. 200 years ago when the team went back to England for the first time, they wanted to prove that we could stand on our own 2 feet as a country. So we used rugby to go back to the UK and show that we could win. I think if Japan is going to be successful, then we need to make sure that it is also a spiritual and cultural game. And you know, I believe that the history of your country is very strong, and very strong in some of the same beliefs that make a good rugby player. For example, I think that you know, Bushido and the samurai spirit on their discipline, on their attention to detail, on their philosophy on life is very much how you need to be as a rugby player. So I think if we can marry those two things in Japan and also get results, you must win to grow a sport. If we can do those two things, then I think you know, rugby will continue to grow in Japan.
ぜひともワールドカップは優勝、そしてジョンさんの力でもっともっと日本をラグビーで熱くさせてください。
ありがとうございます。頑張りましょう。頑張りましょう。